Hey everyone, your designers are here.
I'm Anita with Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at Myself a Home.
We have tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today, so let's get started.
This is episode 94, the best way to decorate a bedroom.
Looking forward to this. I'm in the throes of planning and decorating and redoing my master bedroom.
Well, it's so important to have a cozy, inviting bedroom and a sanctuary. And for those of us that are just coming out from under this Hurricane Harvey, it's just so important to have a place where you can relax and just something that feels like it's a warm hug. I mean, to me, that's what your bedroom should feel like, a hug. So let's start with the bed. I think that's a good place to start because, hello, it's your bedroom. So let's talk about styling your bed, and then we'll move around the room.
Okay.
So what do you like to do, Kelly? How do you style your bedroom, your bed?
Well, I really think having a great set of sheets that are comfortable and work for you, and beautiful linens is a great way to start. They don't have to be really, really super, super high end, but get rid of the pilly comforter, treat yourself. I forget, you read this sometimes, how many hours of your life you spend sleeping.
A third of your life.
Or trying to sleep, right? What is it?
They say 23 years on the average.
Okay. So would you wear the same pilly sweater for 23 years? Yeah. Right? No.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Right? So picture that. You're pulling up a pilly comforter. Ew. Right? So, treat yourself and get the fabrics that feel good to you and feel good to your pocketbook as well as your body, and get just something beautiful. I would go with some simple solids. So what I like to do is have a duvet. I think that if you get a nice comforter and you slide it inside, sometimes they slip around a little bit. So you might want to look for ones that have the little ties on the inside. So the comforter,
I like those.
The inside down comforter, what have you, doesn't slide around. So I like to have that. And I like to have different layers of thin blankets. I don't necessarily like to have anything heavy. I'm laughing because we had one in our last house and it was just really pretty and I liked it. And I used to fold it at the bottom of the bed, but if it was cold, we'd pull it up. And Peter called it the dead body because it was so heavy. It felt like someone had died on top of you.
But but that's supposed to be good for people that are stressed about thunderstorms. Remember those thunder?
Oh yes,
suits for the dogs.
Yes, thunder jackets
heavy.
Or whatever.
So supposedly there's these weighted. Maybe you accidentally bought a weighted blanket.
Maybe I did. Maybe
you
it was
bought a thunder blanket.
I could have given him dental X-rays under it as well.
But I agree with you. Have the lightweight blankets because here you just need one lightweight blanket all the time, but a heavyweight. Oh my goodness! Yeah.
And on occasion, there may just be that it's spontaneous increase in body temperature for one.
But here's the thing: your body has to get down to a certain core temperature for you to be able to go to sleep. So it's very important that
I didn't
your
know
room.
That.
Yeah, so if your room is hot, you can't sleep.
Oh, how about that?
So that's why it's so important to not have too much on your bed when you're trying to sleep. So those lightweight blankets are valuable.
Okay, I'm going to wedge my way in here and I'm in love with linen sheets. I mean, love. And they're
I've got
beautiful,
a linen blanket.
They're lofty. Yeah, I do too. And they're just lovely.
That's nice.
But here's what I want to talk about when we're talking about beds. I love, of course, pillows. So and we have a queen size bed. We don't need a king size bed. And I love to have a beautifully arranged pillows. I like the €3 shams in the back.
Yeah, me too.
The 2 standard size shams in front of those. And then in the middle, a beautiful decorative pillow with maybe a lumbar in front of that. So I do like a lot of pillows. So something that's really beautiful.
I don't think that's excessive. I think that's about right. Beyond that,
7
I think
pillows.
It's but if you're going to sit in bed,
there's some men out there that would be like, "That's
a
pillow."
I've got a tip for that. Okay. And then I also like a bed tray, and if you don't use it, you just put it on the floor. But if you do use it, it has, first of all, excuse me, it is so purposeful. you can put your coffee on it. I almost like to have like a table in front of me when I'm doing anything, even if it's reading a magazine. I can store the books I'm reading on if it has little pockets on the side. If we bring up a cocktail in the evening or something, it's not spilling. And when your bed's made, it looks gorgeous on your bed.
So you keep one on your bed all the time?
We like to retire a little early.
I'm lucky if I watch a PBS show. Pass out.
Well, we're empty nesting. So,
right.
We go up a little bit early and it's not a sanctuary now, but it will be. And we have a sitting room right off of it, which is so nice because you can sort of seclude yourself up there. And it just makes for a really comfy, cozy evening.
Sounds lovely. And striving towards the sanctuary. We're probably all striving towards it. I really, I said it out loud on Sunday night. I had worked so hard and I was thinking about our, when we were talking about drapes and shades and blinds, because I had the drill out and I was putting up my decorative panels and it really made
girl.
Oh, it made such a difference. But I did cry in between because I have the lathe and plaster and one screw would go in and then you put the one an inch below it, to go into the holder. And that one would just go into oblivion. Like it was hooking onto nothing, just into space. So it was a little frustrating, but yes, we'll get around to the drapes. I know I'm skipping ahead. We're on the bed. So I like to have a lot of pillows on the bed too, but I'm wondering, Yvonne, so where are your sleeping pillows? Are those all 7 decoratives?
Well, I put those behind my 3 Euro shams.
I don't think she counted those.
No. I said those decorative pillows. And before we just got a padded headboard, which is so cool. Yeah. And it was very, very, very reasonable. I'll put that in the show notes. And it's so beautiful. Anyway, before that, we had a big rice carved bed and there was a little space between our mattress and the headboard, and I could slip our pillows right down in between that. It fit perfectly, and I can't do that with this bed, so I just put them behind. I tried to put them flat on the bed and pile everything up on top, and I wasn't into that look. That didn't work well, but I have a really good place when you take your pillows off your bed, instead of putting them on the floor, putting them on furniture, get like a big basket, or my daughter has almost like this beautiful not galvanized metal cart, wire cart that on wheels, and it's real wide, and you can put all your pillows in there. So they have a place to live and they're going to be thrown on your floor.
Well, I think that is the epitome of luxury, is to have some crisp white linen pillows on your bed. I mean, they look gorgeous when you're not in the bed. And I just love, that's such a luxury, having those feather pillows covered in the white linen when you're, sitting in bed, maybe reading a magazine or something. That, to me, that's just such a beautiful look. But I think
bed is
you can go overboard. Well, I think you can go overboard on the pillows, so just be careful, because when you take them off, you don't want it to take an hour to take them off. You don't want another room to be required to hold all the pillows when you're not in bed, when you are in bed.
A pillow room does sound good to me.
Well, of course it would to you. Yes, that's right, because you are the pillow queen.
Yes, I am. But I think it's so important that the bed is like the star of your room. So you really want to make it beautiful, because when people walk into a room, I don't look at my dresser first. I look at my bed. It's the biggest, it's the biggest piece of furniture most people have in their home. Right. So you want to make sure it's decked out beautifully.
So I have a bench, a short bench. I mean, it's really just a bench in front of the bed, and it doesn't have a back to it or anything. But I've noticed this is a trend. People are putting chairs at the foot of their bed now, but I really don't care for the tall back because I don't want it to block the bed. So my preference is a bench. So what about the two of you? What do you do? But it's nice to have that for sitting, to put your shoes on or whatever.
What I've seen is I've even seen it like a small chest with 2 chairs. But here's the deal. I think you could have 2 small chairs or a settee, but you've got to it has to have a low back.
Well, that's what I was saying. I think the tall back, you don't want it blocking the, you don't want it blocking the bed.
I just pinned something today on Pinterest because I thought it was so beautiful. A bed, and it had 2 white chairs, but they were small, like barrel type chairs.
Yeah.
And they looked beautiful. Also, what about in my one guest bedroom? We have a double set of leather stools at the bottom of our bed. So there's 2
something
stools
with a low profile, I think, at the end. I don't really even like a bed with a footboard. I really just like the headboard. But a low bench or something like that, I think would be nice, especially if you have a room large enough to accommodate that. We don't.
Good point.
Yeah, our bedroom, it would be too crowded to have all of that at the end. And then it would seem odd because I couldn't fit something else on the other side. So I didn't put anything at the end of the bed, but across like the other end of the room, not too far away, I have this really lovely chair I got at the Restoration Hardware warehouse sale, and I have one of my little orphan tables that I spray painted next to it with a lamp on it. So I don't really sit there. Sometimes people throw their clothes there. I'm not going to mention who.
That would be my problem.
Right. And then but just jumping back to the bed itself and the pillows for a second. After we talked at some of our earlier episode, and Anita was such a proponent of the feather down pillows. Am I right, Anita?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Because I have always been disappointed in the pillows. Always. So you try to maybe you say, okay, I'll get the cheapy ones at TJ Maxx, something like that. And you don't expect that much, but you expect a little more than you get, or you just buy them online and because, they seem to sound like they come and they seem good. But literally, 14 days later, they're just misshapen and awful. So
flat as a pancake.
Flat as a pancake. So I got these feather down pillows from Wayfair, and they're made by a company called Pure Down, and I could not be happier. I ordered 2.
Oh, well, and I think too, a lot of these are maybe 10% feather or 10% down and 90% feather. So, that, which is very different than mostly down. So, but that's more expensive. So yeah, you do have to be careful.
Well, I don't mind your tip, and there I went. And then I ordered 2 more. Oh, I love them. We had 2 and I thought I'll test them out. And then we ordered 2 more. So I could put the link to that in the show notes because they are fantastic. And now we've had them for at least the first 2 for 4 or 5 months. And it's as if they just showed up. They're perfect.
Well, the feather pillows too, I mean, they do mush. That's the whole point, is they conform to your shape and everything. So they do need to be fluffed when you get up. But I think it's worth it because they're just so soft. And the foam, the foam is not as comfortable.
I'm sort of a down alternative girl with a little bit of foam in it. But I was going to say, Kelly, could you put those in the show notes? Because I do have family that when they come, like a down pillow, and I'd love to get those for them.
I think it's Pure, Pur, no E down, but I will look it up. It was easy enough for me to find them again when I wanted to order them again. And I think they have a line of put real down, alternative down. I think they do it all. So check those out. But when I put my pillows against my tufted headboard, I was putting them, kind of on the horizontal. So we have a king. So I was putting 4 king pillows, 2 on top of each other.
Flat. Laying flat.
Yeah,
that's a cool look. I like that look.
But it doesn't really work as well. I was just always doing it that way.
I think it depends on the headboard.
Yeah, and then the Euro pillows were just kind of like they didn't have enough support. So I think it was my mom was visiting, and she's always helping me. What can I do next? And I found her in making my bed, and she had put them on the vertical, and I thought, duh, like that is so much better.
You have to have a tall enough headboard to do that.
Yeah, but it makes the other decorative pillows that I may or may not have a lot of stand up much better.
Right.
Yes,
and then it's just a very cozy look. Okay, so let's move on to the nightstands.
Ooh, I love a nightstand.
And I feel like every bed needs if 2 people are sleeping in it, each side really needs a nightstand.
If you can configure it. That's right.
Well, if you can, right. I mean, some bedrooms you just can't, but if you can, it's such a nice thing, especially with phones and iPads and all this stuff. You really need a place to put those things, so they're not in the bed with you. And I have this little nighttime thing. I'm not sure this is a good thing or not, but the thing I use to lull myself to sleep is I have some Bluetooth ear things, and I will listen to a podcast, not ours, because it can't be too lively.
Okay, maybe we don't mention the boring podcast you listen to.
But I really
we don't want to make any enemies.
That's true. We love all of you.
I won't say what I listen to, but anyway, so I do that and it lulls me to sleep. But I use the Bluetooth one so I can put my iPad on the nightstand and it's not in the bed. So, because I've gotten in trouble for that.
Well, I'm on the prowl right now for nightstands. I've been looking everywhere.
Nightstand prowl.
Yes, nightstand prowl. And I've come up with that I really think what I want are a nightstand that has open shelves. Because you can get a lot of things on a nightstand with an open shelf. Mm-hmm. But what I really love the look, and this is what I'm going to do with mine, is I'm going to have a mirror cut just a little smaller than the top part of my nightstand. And I'm going to use that as the base.
Oh.
I've seen it done, and it is so beautiful.
You mean the top of the nightstand?
The top of the night will be a mirror. Flat.
How about you find mirrored furniture? You don't like that? It's too much?
I think that's a little too much for my look.
Okay.
So, but if I can put just a mirror on the top and have it almost cover the entire surface, I've seen that decorated.
Well, it certainly would be.
It's reflective.
You wouldn't have to worry
beautiful.
so much about a wet glass, getting your nightstand messed up. So,
That's
I can see that being
a
rather practical thing.
But it's also so beautiful. But if I were going to worry about my wood, let's say, I would just get a piece of glass cut instead of a mirror. A mirror, how pretty is that?
How pretty. And Yvonne, you could find, I'm sure I have a few orphans I could send your way. Because here you are. You love to paint furniture.
I love to paint furniture.
So if you found a little duo matching nightstands and then and you could just refurbish them with some paint and then you had the mirror cut, voila.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I'm probably going to do my end of the bed is not I don't have a lot of extra wall room because it opens right up into our sitting room. So I'm going to take a tiered nightstand and turn it on so the short end is like, the long end is facing the bed.
Right.
So the short end you're looking at. And then on Bob's, I want something about the same height, but I'd like almost like a long, flat, almost desk-like thing with maybe a shelf or like a sofa table, because it could go under the window. There's a window there and it would look beautiful.
Well,
and he has more room.
Is the size. I mean, we have very small nightstands, but I really wish I had a bigger one because I've got a lamp on it and I can put my iPad there and really that's it. So I can't fit anything else. But I like the closed drawers where you can't see what's in there. So you can shove some stuff in there that's unsightly. But I don't have a dresser in the room.
I don't believe you have anything unsightly.
Oh, you're so
I
kind.
refuse to believe that.
You should see the top of the nightstand I have now. It's packed. And I'm sort of ignoring it because it's not pretty at all.
Last night's cocktails.
Oh, my goodness.
I've got so much on it, but I do want to arrange. But here's what I want to tell everybody. For a nightstand, as long as they're the same size, like as long as their height is the same, you can pretty much I think you can go with different looks on each end.
Well, I think color-wise, you probably want a very similar color.
And color, that's
color
true.
Intensity. I wouldn't do like white on one side and dark on the other.
No.
I think those need to be similar, both wood or both metal or whatever. But the other thing I want to mention about that, if you do use different pieces for nightstands, is I feel like to have that uniform look, you really want I prefer my lamps to match and I want them the same height. So if one piece is shorter, then I put some books underneath it to get the lamps up the right height.
Good idea.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health, potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. I want to just mention my nightstand situation, which at first I thought was devastating. How were we going to overcome this? So without getting into all the complexities of how the room was transformed by us, it was just this weird entryway that was useless space and there were no closets. So we just kind of moved the door over to the opening that was actually a linen closet in the hallway. Mm-hmm. And so we were able to create a walk-in closet out of this completely useless entryway. You know, you kind of walked into the room. There was this small little entryway that the gentleman had 2 gigantic pieces of furniture in, but you know, it could not function as a closet. You'd be walking through your closet to get into your room. So, so that being said, and we wanted to use the opening, you know, because of those darn weight-bearing walls and all that crazy stuff. We had to just use the opening for the hallway linen closet, which meant that our wall space for our king-size bed was very limited. So what we did, if you are encountering that type of situation, I have a tip for you. So what we did was Peter's side of the bed, it sort of abuts a little bit of a wall. The wall sort of pokes out a little bit. And we just, it's not complete. He's not like walled in. He can get out of the bed, but maybe there's like 2 feet where the wall is next to him on a 90-degree angle from the headboard. So we just opened up in between the studs in that small wall. And we created 3 shelves. So now,
what a good idea.
Yeah. So he can put his glass of water. Of course, I have, you know, pretty votives, and then I have something else. I have a vintage piece I brought home from London. And so I have 1 or 2 of the shelves decorated, but he gets 1 shelf and he can put his water glass, his phone, you know, if he wants his readers or whatever he needs there, and just tuck them in. And the shelves are pretty narrow, you know, maybe they're 5 inches wide, but they're long. So it's, you know, it's in between the studs. And that was really not a big deal to do at all. Otherwise, it would just have been a flat wall and he would have had no space to put anything. And
that's an excellent idea.
And you can do that anywhere. You know, you could do that if you don't have room for, you know, an extra cabinet in the bathroom, maybe over the toilet. If you don't want something sticking out, you can go into the studs.
That's right. You do have a little bit of space. Anita, I have a tip for you. If you only have enough room on your nightstand just to put a lamp and a charger, why don't you instead get a floor lamp or an arched floor lamp? We do that in 2 of our bedrooms. They don't have a lot of space. So instead we just put a floor lamp, and it gives you a little more space if you have a very small nightstand.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's
Another thing, I have piles of books on my nightstand, and it was just getting out of hand. I've it looks like a coffee table that you have styled with all these stacks of books. I just love to, pick and read or browse or look through things. So instead, I put a basket on the floor. And the nightstand I have now just has like a little drawer. So there's open space under that. And I put a basket that fits in that, and I put my books in that. And boy, does that save space.
That's a nice idea too. And it just looks really pretty. Getting back to the lighting, just since we don't have space on Peter's side and my side, literally, I have this little tiny stool. Maybe it's 10 inches in diameter. Again, enough space for my glass of water, and it has a little shelf on the bottom.
Oh, that's a great idea. So because you need room for at least a glass and your phone,
Exactly. It tucks right in there, and it's right by the door. So obviously, we can't have lamps on either side. And I really thought that, this is, you picture a bedroom and you see the bed and it's got the nightstands on the other side with the pretty lamps and the whole thing. So I thought, I'm going to really always be disappointed with this room. But I have to say, because I've been thinking about it so much, and with how we want to live in there. And it's really not so bad. So if you're in a similar situation, you can make it work. We did 2 hi-hats. Again, not a giant fan of those.
Love it.
But
I love those. Oh, okay. I got what you're saying.
Yeah, the ones that are recessed in the ceiling. So we did 2 of those that are sort of right over, where your head would be in the bed for reading. But
Smart.
I just thought, and we have a chandelier in the center of the room over the bed, which is really just for prettiness. But so but it wasn't the right amount of light. Like the light was too far away for reading. You just kind of felt like, again, like maybe Peter was getting his teeth cleaned and he had that it was either too bright or too dim or,
Well, you have that heavy lead blanket.
Exactly.
So.
That's what I'm saying. Pull that out. So what I did over the weekend was I put up a sconce, and just one that didn't have to be hardwired, the kind where you can just plug it in and then you have the cord and you can decide to cover the cord or not. In on the wall behind the tufted headboard. And
smart.
Yeah, so nice.
Great idea.
You reach up and you turn it on.
Ambiance. That's right.
And it's from Lamps Plus, so I can put the link in there. And the little knob to turn it on and off, you just, like I'm little, but I could just reach up and grab it. And it's a dimmer. So it's
nice. Very nice.
So nice.
Before we leave nightstands, can I give a few ideas?
Sure.
If you have enough room, always put either a plant, something organic, a plant, flowers. It's just so nice to have that, something real by your bed. And I think I'm not going to put it by my bed. I'm going to put it by Bobby's because he's got the window. So I'll probably put a plant there. And then also think about, if you have enough wall space, what is going to go behind that? Will you put a mirror behind that hung very low, looks beautiful, or a set of pictures? So you want something not only on your nightstand, but you want something, if you can, in back of your nightstand. Is that layering that looks so nice?
Yeah, that does look great.
And I'm going to say 2 other things. Our Amazon Echo, we can go to bed with like the sound of the ocean. Lulling us to sleep.
Or you can do that on your phone
podcast.
Too. Or I don't want to mention this because of poor Houston, but you could, like the pattering of rain.
Oh, good.
Yes.
No longer a pleasant sound.
No, but yes. No. A gentle little rain is nice. But again, our hearts go out to all of our friends in Texas. And also a diffuser. And I've mentioned this before in another podcast. I diffuse essential oils in the evening, and it just, it relaxes you and it makes you feel good. And I diffuse something that purifies the room.
Okay.
So
great idea.
So those are things that you can think about. I don't have a clock on my nightstand. I like a clock on my nightstand, not as an alarm, but just if I get up in the night, I can like look over instead of turning on my cell phone to see what time it is.
Right.
So think of things like that. Do we have time to do like chest of drawers or dresser or anything?
We could just keep going. I mean, let's just keep going a little bit. My number one tip, I didn't even get
30
to.
minutes. Oh, maybe
Sometimes we go over, and some
true.
people, a lot of people actually have asked us to go a little over.
Oh.
I'm gunning for tip of the day. We're not leaving until I get it.
Okay, you want to share it now?
Okay, let's see it.
I'm just joking. Everyone's tips today were perfect. So there's so many good ones.
Hey, I thought I'd get mirror on the nightstand. I thought I'd get chip of the day for that.
Wait, I think we were trying to digest and picture the whole thing.
Okay.
It was like, whoa. Okay. So this may not be tip of the day, but let me tell you, it has changed my life because I do like to watch a show in the evening and sort of decompress with Peter, relax before we fall asleep. So we always had a TV in our bedroom. I know a lot of people don't even do that, but if you are a TV in the bedroom person,
I am.
And you hate wires, I do, and you just don't want to see that big black thing like on top of your dresser or whatever. We went to a large iPad, and it is a game changer.
What do you mean by a large iPad?
I think she means the standard size because I have a mini iPad.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you mean?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 12.9 inch iPad.
Oh, it
Pro.
really
That
is
is
a large
bigger.
one.
Yeah.
Yes, it's almost like a small TV, and
Well, you could just use your laptop too.
you could use your laptop. I don't know, but it's somehow it feels like then you got the keyboard and it feels too worky.
Oh,
like,
well, no, I have one
specific
that's my laptop.
iPad for it.
My laptop folds so you can make it where it's more like a tent or teepee, and then you can watch it and you don't have to see the.
Okay. So you could do that. So I'm just saying, if people are like, oh, but we like the TV, and like, we don't have direct TV anymore, so we didn't need that box and all those wires. So we use Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, video.
Who watches TV anymore? I just do Hulu and Netflix.
Oh, I'm a news girl, so I do watch that. But
but if I need the news, I watch it on my computer.
Well, that's such a good idea. Such a good idea, Kelly.
But taking that off the dresser and having it go away was just magical.
And honestly, that whole look of the TV in your house, I just so don't like that. So, I just have as few TVs in the house as possible.
Can
so we
I
have
just
the one
say
in the
this?
living room, and then that's it. Yeah.
Can I just mention this? Make sure you tune into episode 95. We're going to talk about high-tech things. Oh, yeah. And this is going to, like this one, I had to wrap my mind around it.
Okay.
The new TV's coming out. But let me just say this. We're moving our TV because Bob and I, we'll have maybe a hot cocoa and watch the TV a little bit in the evening or read, like I said, but we really like to sort of go up a little earlier. It's just fun. And especially after like Bob sees 32 patients during the day,
right? Yeah.
He just needs to do something a little more mindless.
Right.
And so, instead of like work, when he's had a day like that, he just doesn't, that's it. He's done for the day. I don't, poor guy could never ask any other than he does the dishes at dinner. So we're moving our TV into the sitting room, which I'm really excited
that's a
about.
Smart idea.
Yeah. And so, your tip of the day, ding, 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 will come in really handy, Kelly, because if we want to watch something, like if there's breaking news or whatever coming on, we can watch it on and we have an iPad up in our bedroom. So,
you can get
but not one like that. Ooh,
yeah, that
and
sounds
then you don't
nice.
have any wires.
Well, Kelly, let me ask you
this.
this.
No wires is important.
Oh, it's so important. Again, make sure you listen to the next episode 95 because we're going to talk about this. I wonder if you could even like hook it up somewhere that you could swing arm it out. Do you know what I'm saying?
That is so funny. We've been talking about that because it would come from, because Peter's been sort of, balancing it a little bit.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to hold it. Or
if you had a bed tray, you could put it on that.
If you had the laptop like I'm talking about, so
you could do that too.
Stand, see?
Right. Well,
but I'd like to swing arm it.
Yeah,
you can get it, but I'll tell you, just get a cover for it because a lot of those turn it into a stand.
That's true.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't have to
those,
total hands free,
right? Like that, like even the old fashioned accordion.
Oh, yes.
Like the mirror pulls out in the bathroom.
Yes,
kind of an old school punk steampunk thing going
exactly,
on
and then this thing just comes out. Go ahead, clean out your closet. Then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor. And I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. You know, we're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Absolutely.
Okay, well let's sneak in styling your
dresser
dresser top here before we go.
Okay,
So,
I say put a gorgeous mirror behind it. And so many dressers still come. I can't believe they still come with the matching mirror.
Yeah.
Don't
Really?
do
They
that.
come that way?
Yes. If you look online, yes. And I'm thinking, don't do that. Don't buy the mirror. Put a beautiful mirror up there, something that's going that's different, that's going to really accent your room. You know, maybe a metallic.
Here's another tip is to go with an armoire. We just have an armoire and then we don't have a dresser. And then it stores a lot more stuff. And then the door's closed. There's no, of course you can't style the top. It's up too tall, but that's another option if you need more room than a dresser.
Sure. No, I'm looking for an old armoire that I want to paint because that's going to be my one big painted feature in my bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Oh, beautiful.
But anyway, double lamps, if your dresser's long enough, I think that is a gorgeous look.
Mm-hmm.
It gives, and it doesn't have to be symmetrical on the rest of it, but a beautiful mirror with double lamps. It's like a frame. It's just so gorgeous.
Yeah, that's a great idea on a big dresser.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Kelly? Any last minute tips?
Yeah, we don't have that in our room. And as I mentioned, we made this area into a walk-in closet. So I put 2 small little vintage Eastlake styled dressers. So they're really small, just with 3 drawers. So we each have one of those inside the closet. And then out in our room, we just have the bed, and then we have a chair and this table, and then I have a wicker trunk, and I have I know they say don't put a mirror across from your bed, but it's not directly
bad
my
feng
bed.
shui.
Yeah, I think it really it lights up the room and it bounces the light around.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a very large mirror over this wicker trunk.
And Kelly,
we don't have any surfaces really in the bedroom.
This might be tip of the day. Whatever you do, don't put a mirror above your bed.
Ding, ding.
Yeah.
You mean on the wall or on the
On
ceiling?
the ceiling.
All right.
Well,
unless you're looking
who's
for a
doing
different
that?
career.
Well, in a podcast, I told you about my 40th birthday party. We went to this big
Well, that was in
fancy
a hotel.
Yes. So
We don't go to those kind of places.
We were very uncomfortable. So that will not give you a restful night's sleep.
No, not at all.
So if you have if you have to put it somewhere, put it across from your bed. Bad feng shui or no, right?
Yeah, I think feng shui, you kind of, pick and choose.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense to you. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. We had so much fun, and hopefully we are helping you create your sanctuary or get on the road to your bedroom sanctuary, because it is really important, and you do spend a lot of time in there. So don't give yourself the short shrift. So remember that we are here to help you and inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time. Hey there. If you're loving our podcast like we're loving our podcast, we would love you to rate and review us. Head to iTunes to do that. It's easy and it would mean so much to us.